Okay. All right, y'all. Give me a second. Mhm. Okay. Please go to the other live. Yes, Michelle, we're working on that. I got you. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this. So go to the other room, okay? There's another room. I'll post the link again. Okay, good. This is wild. Okay. So let's end this one. Let's end this. For all of you who are on the new live, give me one moment so I can properly end this other one. Can you guys hear me okay in this new live? What in the world? Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes? Okay, good. Listen. It's all good. Give me one moment. Let me just close this other one so that people are not confused. Give me 1 second, everyone. Okay, let me get out of here. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're back. We are back. That was a little blatant. It's not my microphone. I have a really good microphone. My setup is good. This is like the second time consecutively that I've gone live on YouTube, and it really is, like I said, so many things that are happening in this world right now. You just have to laugh, and this is one of the things where it's like you just really have to laugh. But trust me when I say that this was foretold. Okay. I'm not shocked by any of this, and I am prepared. Give me 1 second. Thank you for everyone that's like DMing me. No sound, no sound. Okay. Hold on. I'm texting my daughter. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. As I said, so I went live on Instagram, and like the video, guys, share this video because I'm going to be sharing some information about this upcoming season, what's going to be happening. So like the video, share it with those who you resonate with, who you think could use this information, which is everyone. But yeah, as I was saying that, I will, if there is time and if I have energy, I will do a brief Q&A at the end, like really brief. But I will let you know at the end because I see some questions coming through, and I want to stay focused. We have a lot to get through today. But on the last live that I did on Instagram, I posted it on here and I said, if you guys don't hear from me, if you guys don't see me, like, it's all good. I'm okay. Like, I'm doing the most on the astral realm. I'm also doing the most on this physical realm and just preparing things, for the soul family. So with that said, let's begin. So first of all, well, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, Hollies. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the love. Thank you. Where was I? So welcome everyone. I didn't even get to welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Happy winter solstice. Welcome to all the SDA students, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Welcome to all the inner circle students. Welcome to all the OSGs that have been here for a long time. The YouTube students, just welcome everyone. Welcome to all the teachers, healers, counselors, coaches, landscapers. Okay, welcome to the whole soul family. Welcome tonight. If this is your first time here, it's your first live, let us know in the chat. Say peace. This is my first live. There's so much love for you here. And really high vibrational chat, really high vibrational energy. You guys are always so amazing. Give me one other second. Okay. So let's proceed. And thank you so much for the moderators that are here that came in early. Oh, what I was saying is that I came on at 7:45 just to, make sure the setup was straight, right? Because of what happened last time. And there were like a bunch of people in the chat, like a lot of you in the chat just talking. And I was like, this is such a beautiful thing. I have some things in the work for y'all. Trust me. All day you said, this is my nth live. You've been around for a year, maybe longer. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and dive in. So I have a few announcements, and I'm sending a message out for the people that had the other link for them to join this particular link so that they can watch this live. I know I'll be getting a bunch of emails. But let's go over a few things, a few announcements. The first one is consultations are on hold until the middle of February. Okay. I think I have like 2 people that I have to get in, and I'm going to do my best to, get you guys in as soon as I can. But for anyone who's trying to book a consultation, it's going to be middle of February. It may not be until March, but I will announce when they are open again. Inner Circle 2023 registration is now open. I'm so excited for that. We had so much fun. We are having so much fun in the Inner Circle. We have a new round in 2023. This round is going to be a limited amount of spaces for the class, because last time, like, the class is huge. So we're going to open another class 2023. Something that I'm going to do is I talk a lot about, I reference a lot of things. Thank you, sweetheart. You have my ring? I reference a lot of information, crystals, herbs, supplements, just different things, books. And what I'm going to start doing is leaving them in the description below, because then I get all the emails like, what is the name of that book you said? What is the name of that thing? And so you're going to see in the description below, there's going to be like a lot of stuff. And I'm going to give information as well on some of the things, okay, just for your reference. There's also the email address, because we get emails random places. So the email address, you can email thespiritduel@gmail.com, and that is also below in the description. Last week I spoke about, am I doing an SDA 2023? Yes, but it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to announce that. I'm going to talk about that in January, in a couple of weeks, actually. Thank you so much for the donation, Rob Blackstorm. You said get them to let teach the people. Then, yes, brethren. Yes, brethren. Thank you again for the donation. 1111. Love it. I spoke about an iron tonic that I make, okay, that I drink. Thank you, Diamond G. Thank you for the love. You said you're awesome and you've changed my life. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm very honored. Thank you. I spoke about an iron tonic. I gave instructions on how to make it. I'm actually going to do a video to show you how to make it. And the link for the two herbs are in the description below. I actually created like a kit so you can just buy the two herbs so that when you can watch the video, make it along with me or just follow along. It is something that in the Caribbean, uh, in the Caribbean, especially like in certain West Indian countries, is known that you take roots tonic. It's called roots tonic, and you cook roots down, and it's really good for your blood, etc. So that's in the description below. Yeah, so let's talk about the purpose of this live, you guys. Let's talk about the purpose of this live. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the energy, the spiritual energy or the seasonal energy. And then I'm going to go into the cosmic energy and you'll see how they just correlate. And even as I'm preparing my notes, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just love when things just come together so perfectly. Knowing plus understanding equals power every time. And I always say truth is truth. So let's talk about what's happening energetic wise, the spiritual energy. We are literally, and I was trying to find the words, flowing into a new reality. Okay. And I use the word flowing specifically. If you watched the last live, I talked about the canoe and the canoe race. So there's a reason why I'm using the word flowing. But we are flowing into a new reality. Like seriously, okay? And there is a high space and there is a low space, a high vibrational space and a low vibrational space. It really is. And sometimes some of you are able to see both spaces, okay? And it's odd. If you're in a high space, you're able to see like sometimes you're like, how do I say this? Like, not that you're coming down, but you'll see like, oh my gosh, what's happening around the world or in this country is real crazy. And you kind of go back into your own world, your own reality, right? But there's going to be like this, almost like a divide almost. It's going to be really interesting, okay? And again, I did a live. If you didn't see the live that I did yesterday or 2 days ago with the one of those early morning things, and I spoke about the canoe and the stream, watch that because actually was doing the live to talk about this live that I'm going to do, but then this memory popped up and there was a message behind that. So we're going to dive into that a little bit as well today. So was it last week? I was teaching a small group of students about the seasonal energy. I went really deep into like what the seasonal energy was. And I didn't realize until I was reviewing my notes today that the element that we are entering into is water, right? Literally water. So when I'm saying flow, there's a reason why I'm saying flow. However, there's also energy of earth, okay? Like we're going into a heavy earth energy, but the season, this period of year, every year is always the water element. So we have the water element with this heavy earth element. What happens when you have water and dirt? What does that make? What does water and dirt make? What does water and dirt make? Someone, okay, excuse me, Jasmine. Yes, it does make growth. You just went, yeah, it does make growth. But yes, mud, okay? Mud. Okay. So I want you to think of this energy that we're in as like mud, okay, or like quicksand, but not quicksand is not. We've been taught that if you go in quicksand, you drown and you die. That's not necessarily true. But I want you to think of it like that, okay? Think of it as walking through mud or walking through quicksand. You can't run. If you try to run through it, you're going to like exhaust yourself, like you're fighting this density, okay? So you walk slowly through it, right? Or if you're in quicksand, the way that you drown is by you fighting it. You fight it, you're gonna drown. Okay. The way that you come out of the quicksand is by not moving, slowly moving your body in a certain position, and then you end up floating, and then you can get out of the quicksand. So we're not going to fight this energy that we're in because you're not going to win. So don't fight it. Okay. And I'm going to teach you what I mean. And I'm going to teach you how to flow through this energy, how to use it to your benefit. Okay. So remember, think of it like that. The element for the winter season is water, but we have a lot of earth. So it's like mud. Okay. And mud is not bad. Mud is not a bad thing. Yes, the lotus grows from mud. A high vibrational, beautiful flower grows from mud. Okay, so it's not negative. Okay, children love mud. We think, oh, it's dirty, but it's soil. That's all it is. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. So, with this energy, when I'm talking about the seasonal energy, I'm talking about now until the end of February, right? Because although the world says that this is the end of the year, January starts a new year, that's a very new concept. Um, every culture ever says that the new year starts in the spring, right? Even astrology, Aries is the first zodiac that is, we're talking about March energy, spring energy. So that's technically the beginning of the year. However, we also have to understand that we still exist in this reality, okay? And so if most of the world is in this energy of like, this is the new year, we still have to exist in that. And so we can't be so spiritual that we're like, oh, that's not the new year. It's March for me. But everything around you is that, right? Just like I tell people, I we know why we understand Thanksgiving, right? We understand Christmas. We understand these things, right? Don't be fighting your family. Don't be fighting people. Don't be that person, okay? We have spiritual understanding. However, we still exist in these spaces, right? We're not fighting, right? We're just flowing. All right. So this energy that I'm speaking of is from now until the end of February. So these are the things I want you to remember daily. Like you have to remind yourself of these four things. There are four things. Four represents foundation. Okay. Write it down, put it on your mirror, put it on a sticky note. Hold fast to these things. Okay. Number one, inward reflection. The energy at this time, the first thing is inward reflection. So Shadera, you're saying the new year is in October, November. So you're talking about numerology. That's another topic. That's on, yeah, we talked about that in STA. Okay, so number one, inward reflection. Okay. Number two, tranquility. And I'm going to break each one down. I'm just going to give you the four first. Number one, inward reflection. Number two, tranquility. Okay. Number three, restoration. And after the word restoration, I want you to put in parentheses the word rest. So restoration, right after that, write the word rest and put it in parentheses. Number one, inward reflection. Number two, tranquility. Number three, restoration, rest. Thank you so much, Steffi, for typing it in the chat. Number four is flow. Okay. Again, number one, inward reflection. Number two, tranquility. Number three, restoration. Number four, flow. Okay. So let's talk about number one, inward reflection. Let's talk about that. Okay. This is for all of you wonderful spiritual beings, you spiritual ones. This is for you to understand this. This season is about going within, okay? Really going within, okay? Literally, you are indoors, right? Because the weather is changing, okay? Even in tropical climates. I remember when I lived in South America, I lived in Colombia, and they don't have a winter. It's literally like every day. I lived in Medellin, and every day was like 75 degrees, at the max 85, right? But their winter was like the rainy season. So you spent a lot of time indoors. So even in tropical climates, there still is a period of time during this year where you are indoors more. Okay. You're going to have to deal with yourself, right? You're indoors, you're not out in the world, like it's too cold, you don't want to be out. The inward reflection is you having to deal with yourself. Okay. Here's the thing, people don't like to do that. Nobody likes to do that. And there's a pattern that has developed over the years, right? It's this new thing, I think since 2 years ago, that is called the winter body. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? When you have traumas or emotional things that you don't deal with, literally, we go to grounding foods, like the heavy foods. Like nobody's in the wintertime eating like salads and fruit. Like we do that in the summer, but in the winter, y'all know what y'all been eating since Thanksgiving, right? Okay. The cakes, the pies, and then Christmas, and then the more cakes and the more pies and the more cookies, right? And then you have February, Valentine's Day, so the chocolates, the chocolate cakes, and the chocolate cookies, and we start eating a lot, okay? And then we have the winter bodies that we try to burn off in the spring to have a summer body, right? But that's because a lot of people are not willing to face, going within, okay? The thing about this time of the year, though, is that because it is the water element, right? And we communicate via water, our communication with our spirit team is very heightened, very much heightened. Okay. And we notice this because it starts literally the end of October. This is why there's so many traditions that have a lot of spiritual days. Let's just say that October 30th, that's when it starts because the communication, spiritual communication is now heightened. Okay. I won't go too deep into why that is, but I will tell you that it has to do with the water element and that we communicate via water. So this is important to know because your meditations will be stronger. You should meditate more. Okay. If you were having difficulty meditating in the past couple of months, it made sense because the energy was, and I told you guys since August, I said September, October, November, energy is going to be like, right? You will be able to tap in a little bit more into your meditation, okay, because of that water energy. One thing that I suggest people do, because people don't do this in the winter, drink more water, okay? But don't just drink any water. You want to make sure that you have a high vibrational water. So anytime you drink water, put a crystal in it. Everyone should have a crystal by now, right? Put a crystal in it. If you have shungite, put shungite in there. This will cause the water to be high vibrational. You want to test, or you have a child, get a clear glass, put a crystal in it, put it in the freezer, and look at how the crystal creates these beautiful shapes in the water. And you can do like a rose quartz, a shungite. You can do different crystals, and you'll see the beautiful like shapes. The crystals are going to change the frequency of the water. You are putting that into your bodies. Okay, this is going to enhance your communication, especially during your meditations. Okay. Let's continue. The other thing that happens, and I need you to be mindful of this, be very mindful, is because we're going in internally, physically, and spiritually, and mentally. Depression happens. Okay, depression happens. So for everyone, I don't care how spiritual you are. Don't be like, oh, I'm too spiritual for that. I don't get stressed. I'm never depressed. I'm always vibrating high. Okay, don't do that. Don't be that. Don't be that spiritualist. Okay. But depression can take place. Depression is an emotion, it's an emotion of the heart. Okay. So this can happen. So be mindful of that happening. And we should know some of the tools and some of the things we can do to combat that. The other thing is denial. Denial happens. The denial is you fight your shadow. Why y'all be shadow boxing? You can't fight your shadow. Like you can't like denial happens. You're in the home, there's inward reflection, right? And then stuff comes up, trauma comes up, especially if you're doing like your healing, okay? Something may come up about you, and you're like, I'm not like that. I don't do that. I'm good. I'm spiritual. Denial happens. You have to face it. Sometimes you got to face some stuff. And here's the thing, if you have kids, they be the ones. They're the ones who are going to tell you. They will tell you like, you yell too much. Why are you so stressed, mommy? Why don't you drink some tea? Like they will tell you, okay? Why are you always angry, daddy? They will call you out. Don't yell at them. They're here to help you. Your partners, your spouses. And not in an argumentative way. They may say something. Remember the mud. Move slowly. Don't react. Listen. Okay? If it triggers something within you, then it's something that does need to be looked at and healed. All right? Projection. People will project their stuff on you. You be mindful of not projecting your stuff onto other people. Okay? So these things not only, here's what I say. I don't care if you don't believe in astrology. Like you can be like, I don't believe in that stuff. There's a sun, there's a moon, there's these energies still affect you, whether you believe in them or not. It's like saying, I don't believe in gravity, right? I don't believe in computers. Like, okay, but it's still here. So these things are going to affect everyone. Everyone is affected by this. You are equipped with the knowing, okay, and the understanding of how to deal with it. Disconnection to self is evident. When you are, oh my goodness, I loved the quarantine. I was like, yes, because finally people can sit down and like connect to it. Like, who are you? What are you here to do? Like, it was such a wonderful thing for spiritual beings. Okay. So this disconnection to yourself becomes very obvious when it's cold outside and you can't go outside, you can't go shopping, you can't distract yourself. It's too cold to go to your friend's house, or it's raining or whatever, you inside, and now you can't focus. You scrolling through Instagram, nothing is good. You look at Netflix, there's like 10 million movies and shows on Netflix, and you don't want to watch none of them. You start realizing like, what's wrong with me? You start realizing your own disconnection to who you are. Okay? It's not a comfortable thing. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? The other thing is that other people start realizing that as well. Okay? Because of that, people will lash out. And we're gonna talk about that more into detail. You don't lash out. I'm telling you what it is. You should be empowered with this information so you know not to lash out. Okay? So let's talk about number 2, tranquility. Let's talk about tranquility. Let's talk about tranquility. Number 2. So tranquility, listen, do what brings you peace. Do what brings you peace. If it doesn't bring you peace, don't do it. Like, I need y'all to learn how to say no and be okay with that. We are so conditioned that others people's needs and what they want to do is more important than our own. Okay? You can say no. It's okay. If it doesn't feel tranquil to you, if tranquility is important. We're in this energy. It's important. Take warm baths, not hot baths, warm baths. Okay? Take showers. Massage yourself. Massage yourself. Pamper yourself. Okay? Stay away from people with chaotic energy. You know the people that have chaotic energy. That's always the drama. You know, when you get the phone call and you're like, and you answer it anyway. Or you do that thing where you like wait till it stops ringing so that you can tell them, oh, I didn't hear my phone ring. Text them and say, I will talk to you later. Okay? I'm doing some me time or whatever. I need some tranquility right now. Whatever you want to say, do that. Okay? Because then when you do that thing, and don't front when you're like, okay, I'm gonna wait till it stops ringing, right? Or you put in airplane mode so it says call failed. You doing all this trickery because you're afraid of telling them like, I don't want to talk right now. Then you're like feeling bad, like, man, I should have answered. They're gonna think I don't want to talk to them. That's not tranquil. Okay. Do not go to events that are not tranquil. I don't care if your job is like, we're having a Christmas party. You don't want to eat those people's food anyway. Like, it's going to be whack. You don't want to hear the music. Like, oh my gosh, I got to go. Say, no, I, no, I don't want to be around the crowd. No one's going to dispute that. You don't have to go to the New Year's Eve bash. You don't have to go to your family's event. Okay. If you know what it's going to be like, if you know your auntie's going to be arguing, your uncle, somebody's going to fight, somebody's going to get arrested or something, like, miss me with that this year. Tranquil. You need to be in tranquil energy. I need y'all to understand that. Okay. If not, you will not feel at peace. I promise. If you go to an event and you know that this is going to be crazy, but I'm going to go anyway because I don't want them to be mad at me. I said I was going to be the secret Santa or whatever, so I have to bring the gift. And you know, or you watch this video and you was like, I'm not going to be tranquil. I shouldn't go, but you go anyway. You will not be at peace that entire time because your spirit is saying this season is that of tranquil. If it's not tranquil, it's a no for me. Okay. Number three, restoration. Let's talk about this. You have to sleep, y'all. You have to sleep. You have to sleep. Sometimes people say, oh, I can't sleep, but you're like scrolling on whatever you're scrolling on. Put the phone down. Matter of fact, put the phone, like, I literally take my laptop, my phone, I put it in my office before I go to bed. Okay. Turn your Wi-Fi router off. You don't need Wi-Fi in the middle of the night. Those waves are causing you not to have deep sleep. They are interrupting your sleep. Trust me, turn it off. Watch how you sleep. Watch how deep you sleep. Okay? You don't need the internet in the middle of the night for what? All right? Okay? Use shungite. Use shungite. Okay? So on my nightstand, I have a block of shungite. I put my phone on it in the evenings just to absorb some of that negative radiation, because that energy is not tranquil. You just can't see it. Okay? You need to rest. Wear white socks. Wear white socks to bed. I know it's uncomfortable, but you will have such a good sleep. You will have such. Spirit told me that like, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't like wearing socks, but when I put the white socks on, like, I sleep so good. Okay? You know, don't listen. I go to Five and Below and get a whole pack of 10 socks for $5. You don't have to get some fancy socks, just get some white socks. Okay? Take naps when you need to. It's okay to take a 5-minute nap. It's okay. Take a nap. If you're at work and you're tired, take a nap. By you taking that nap is going to restore you. You actually can go into astral realms and get restoration and come back and be more energized. You may be being called to receive some information. Remember, I told you we're in the water energy. So take that nap. Every time I take a nap, I feel prompted to take a nap. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get so much information. Right? So take a nap. Wear white to bed. If you're feeling, I need to calm down, be in a tranquil place, take a shower, wear some white to bed. Okay, whatever it is white you can get your hands on, wear something white with your white socks. Okay. Your soul needs to be restored at this time. And when I was writing that in my notes, I heard the word rebooted. I heard rebooted. I was like, rebooted. So rebooted for the next level. You have to rest. You have to rest. You have to rest. Okay? You have to rest your cells, your physical body, in order to prepare for what is coming. All right? Okay. Let's continue. Van Moore, you said I just bought some white socks because Spirit prompted me. See? It's alignment. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Number 4, flow. Number 4, flow. Listen. Follow your promptings, even if they don't make sense. When I say I have a bag, like a stack of examples of like crazy promptings, not me, not just me. I get the emails and the messages and like oh my gosh, let me tell you what happened. I'm just like, see? Follow your promptings. Sometimes they don't make no sense. And you're like, what the heck? What does it hurt you to follow it? It's not, you'll be all right. You'll survive. You're a spiritual being. You have so much work to do. Okay? There's work you're here to do. Follow your promptings. You're going to be prompted to do things, to say things, to go places. Just follow it. Okay? Don't force anything. Don't force anything. Don't force anything. Remember the example of the quicksand, okay, or the mud. You try to run through that. Now you're fighting yourself and now you're more exhausted. Okay? Don't force anything. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Hang up the phone. You can say, I'll talk to you later. Hang up the phone. Or you can just hang up the phone. I had to hang up the phone to somebody the other day. I was like, oh, I'm not doing this. Okay? Don't think like, I don't want to be rude or hurt their feelings. You're not in a flow space by having this conversation. There's nothing but contention. Okay, you're not going to convince them to be in a flow space with you. Okay, you can end the conversation. Do not fight. And we're going to talk about why don't fight. We're going to break it down. Okay, I want y'all to really have this. You hear my cat? She's going off. She's going off. Yeah, do not fight. I want you to have this nonchalant energy. Everybody be in Virgo mode. Virgo is like, okay, have this nonchalant energy. Like you're not gonna move me with your nonsense. Okay. So remember, again, watch the video that I did yesterday or 2 days ago. And I gave an example of flowing down the stream in your boat. Your boat is your spiritual foundation. Okay. And someone gave me the word. I was trying to pull the word down. The word is on channels. There are channels in the stream, right? And lifting your paddles up and just letting the channels take you to where they need to take you. Okay. Okay. So what to expect? What to expect? Oh, she's fine. She just wants my attention. That's all. And she wants to go outside. So thank you for asking about her. So what to expect? So I need you to understand this. Again, whether people believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. These energy bodies, these planets, these cosmic entities, right, have an effect on you, has an effect on everyone in this world. Okay. And so this is what I need you to expect. Okay. This is you being prepared. People will not go within to reflect. People will not be tranquil. People will be turned up. Okay. People will not rest. Okay. They'll be doing the most. People are going to be doing the most. Okay. The opposite of resting. People are not going to be in flow mode. People are going to be hustling, trying to figure stuff out, trying to grind and not flowing. You are going to recognize that. If you catch yourself in that energy, switch it up. Okay. Right? So what to expect at this time? Literally craziness. I couldn't think of another word but craziness. Okay? What I couldn't think of another word, y'all. Like sheer, like what's your problem? Like craziness. Okay? People literally, as I was okay, several things. Someone just said solstice power. That just brought something to my mind, but let me stay where I was. People are literally going to be in this toddler energy. Okay, so let me explain. I was teaching a class and like that analogy popped up. So anyone that has children or had children or know about children, you know, how can you tell when a child is sleepy? How do you tell like when a baby or a toddler is sleepy? What do they do when they're sleepy? Yeah, Shanae, they start running around. Yep. They start whining. They become chaotic. They start acting out. Okay, they act crazy. They fuss. They cry. They rub in their eyes. They're irritable. They cry. They whine. Tantrums. They pout. Yes, restlessness. They have a fit. They're fussy. They're delirious. They are hyper. Yes, they're hyper AF. Yes. Yes. The most. Majestic Falls like the most. They throwing up, they crying, they cranky. Listen, y'all, listen. Expect people to have toddler energy for the next few months. Like for real. Grown adults are gonna be acting like toddlers. All the things we just listed, the fussiness, the crankiness, the whining, the making noise, the fighting their sleep, okay, temper tantrums. I need y'all to expect that. Y'all not gonna do that, right? But I need you to expect that. Your kids are gonna be looking at adults like, what is their problem? Okay. Expect grown adults to be acting like this, like for real. There is this energy is, like I said, this energy is affecting everyone. If you are not resting, we know a child is sleepy when they're doing the most, and you're like, oh, you just need to go to sleep. You need to take a nap because you're doing the most, right? They are fighting this energy. What did I tell you this energy was? I said this is water energy. You are to be tranquil, right? Going within, restoration, restful, right? And flow. People are not going to do that. And because they're not going to do that, they are fighting the natural flow of energy. When you're fighting that, you get all this craziness. Okay? This is what we're going to be seeing as we are going into 2023. Okay? All right. So instead of the world being in the energy of inward reflection, tranquility, rest, and flow, they're going to be doing that. You, however, are going to be in the correct energy. Okay? You're going to be in the energy of inward reflection, tranquility, restoration, and flow. And because you're in that space, you're going to see the behavior of others. Okay? Entities like, oh man. All right, let's continue. So be mindful when your child is having a temper tantrum. My daughter didn't have too many temper tantrums. So I'm trying to recall, like, if they would get upset about something, right? Wasn't really my daughters. It was one of my nephews, and I'm that mother that's not like, oh my gosh, people looking around, people looking at us. I'm like, you can act up if you want. Like, I can sit here all day, okay? Or I will walk away and you be there by yourself. That's my mothering energy, okay? Y'all need to have that energy. When someone's throwing a fit, you really need to be looking at them like, are you for real? You're not messing with my tranquility. I will hang up this phone right now, okay? Because that's what you're going to get. That's what's going to be happening. Trust me. And it's already been happening. It's already started. It has already been started. Yes, even if it's your family, even if it's your mother or your father, please. And it's not, don't be disrespectful to your parents. Don't be disrespectful to anybody, right? But you can say, like, mommy, okay, I need to go right now. Okay. Can I talk to you later? Okay. You have to put your tranquility first. All right. Yes, you got to be the parents. You are spiritual beings. You are ancient beings. You are the parents of the world. Okay. So, be mindful of that. Look at people like, you need to take a nap. Let me give you some herbs. You need to go to listen. You need to go to sleep. You need to. I made this tincture. Have a couple drops of it. Okay, for real. Okay, so let's talk about there's a lot that's happening cosmically. Today's the winter solstice. There was a lot of there's a lot of information, and I talked about this in the live I did a couple weeks ago, about be mindful of people that are telling but not explaining. They're not teachers. Okay, so if someone can't give you clarity on why they're saying something, be mindful of following that information. So there's a lot of information. It baffles me, but not really. Because in this world there is a mentality of people just following people. That's where you hear like sheep mentality of people who make something up and then everyone kind of just goes with it. Okay. And so I heard something about, it's the solstice, so it's a manifestation day. And I'm like, you don't know, that's not how we manifest, right? Why are you saying that? And because one person said it, a lot of people start saying it. And a lot of people start telling this information, but nobody's saying why. Well, what is a solstice in the first place? If you're talking about it, can you explain what that means besides it being the shortest day of the year? Okay. Does anyone know? Do you know? If you don't know, there's this wonderful thing called Google, and you can Google winter solstice, the science of, and it will basically give you a breakdown of what it is. It gives you the flat earth theory version, the round earth theory version, the actual science of it. You can do winter solstice spiritual. There's a lot of information. My thing is get the information first before you just follow someone blindly that tells you to, pay $5,000 to show up on Easter Island and watch the sun in between, some monoliths. Okay. Why? Why am I doing that? Okay. So I'm not going to go too much into that. Spirit did not, I didn't get a lot of information about that. So I really don't have much to share on that. What I do have to share is that there is a energy channel that we have gone into. Okay. And this date is um, like and it didn't just start today. It has started before today. Okay. And a lot of us has gone into that channel. I'm saying stay there. Don't be fighting it. Okay. Tomorrow is December 22nd. We go into a new zodiac season, the Capricorn season. And then Friday is December 23rd, which I'm excited about because it is the new moon, but it's a super new moon. And it's a new moon in Capricorn. Okay. Very powerful, uh, very abundant. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I have told you, I think every new moon I explain the new moon. We set intentions. We work on those intentions for 2 weeks. Our spirit team helps us work on those intentions, right? And then the full moon is when we do our manifestation work. And then the 2 weeks after that, like right now, we're in the 2-week period after that, right? The moon is waning right now. There's not much work to do, okay? There's other things we can do, but we're not working on those things that we set intentions on, okay? Okay. And I may do a video breaking that down a little bit more, but not tonight. Not tonight. So let's talk about the planetary movements. This is what is more important with regards to this particular message. Okay. Let's talk about this. So I'm going to give you a sentence. One of the most important things to understand is that the moon is squared Jupiter in Aries. The moon is squared Jupiter in Aries. Those students, those people here who are students and you want to learn astrology, you really want to understand this, write this down. The moon is squared, but the moon is squared Jupiter in Aries. Write that down. Moon squared Jupiter in Aries. Moon squared Jupiter in Aries. Yes, there's a Capricorn stellium, so it is written. Yeah. Okay. So moon square Jupiter in Aries. So we're going to break this whole sentence down because I want you to understand astrology. It is one of the most powerful tools that we can use. When we talk about the moon, what is the energy that we speak on when I say moon? Give me one word for moon. Moon is what? What is the energy of moon? So Nahia is moon squared Jupiter in Aries. Moon squared Jupiter in Aries. Okay, that's the sentence. Let me see if someone types that, I'll put it on the screen for everyone to see. Moon squared Jupiter in Aries. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it is written. There it is. Okay. So moon square Jupiter and Aries. We can break this down so that we can understand this because we hear stuff like this and we're like, what does that mean? Real easy. The moon, yes, you all said it. Moon, emotions. So underneath the word moon, put in parentheses emotions. Okay. When we talk about squaring, when a planet squares another planet. I want you to think of like squaring off. You know, when you're about to fight and you like squaring off. Okay. So think about it like the energies are going to fight. So underneath square, right, you can say fighting energy. Okay. All things divine. I like how you're thinking. I like how you're thinking. Very good. Very good. Yeah, they squaring up like what's up? Like, how people do when they about to fight. Okay. Now Jupiter, what's the word that describes Jupiter? And if this is your first time, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know any of this stuff. It's okay. A lot of people that are responding are students or they've been watching for a while, and I teach so that you can learn. So when we talk about Jupiter, yes, abundance, expansion. Very good. There's another word I'm looking for. Yes, philosophy is another one. What's another word? Another word. Abundance, expansion, philosophy. Excellent, excellent. Luck. Yes, that's a good one. How about freedom? Freedom. Because the Jupiter energy is space, right? It is expansion. It is this open energy, freedom. Okay. So we can say, and it's like freedom to do what you want, right? It's so expansive. It really is. I would say people that have Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And I would say that people who are Sagittarius, they just have this freedom mentality in relationships, friendships, It's like I was joking with my daughter on a live, I think on Zoe Essentials app last week, and it was like, why should I have one boyfriend when I can have two? Why should I have two when I can have four? It's kind of like that. Like they're the bachelors of the zodiac. Anyone who can get a Sag to marry them, you need to you need to have a whole class, okay? So freedom to do what you want. So you can put under parentheses, freedom to do what you want, okay? And so then we have the final one, which is Aries, okay? Aries. When we think of Aries, what is the energy of Aries? When we think of Aries, what is that energy? Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, okay? Yeah, Mars, they're the warriors. Mars is the straight gangsters. They ready at all times. Okay. Yes. So when we think about Aries, I want you to think about the fighter. Okay, the warrior, the fighter. Okay, like if you have an Aries friend and you say somebody's messing with you, they're like, "Let's go." Like, where they at? You're like, "No, calm down. No, where they at?" They were talking trash about you. Like, where they at? No, I need to see them. That's Aries energy all day. Okay, they are the gangsters. Okay, especially Aries moons. But let's get back to this. So we have Moon square Jupiter and Aries. So we literally have emotion, fight, freedom to do what you want, and then the fighter. Okay. So I say all of this, and I wanted you to write this all out so that you can see this. You're going to feel this is what the energy is. You're going to feel like you want to stand your ground. Okay. The squaring off, right? Okay. To do what you want to do. That's Jupiter, right? The freedom, the expansion. Okay. in the Aries energy. So you're going to be ready for all the smoke. Okay? Not just you, this whole world is in this energy. So literally you're going to feel like, or everyone's going to feel like they want to stand their ground. Like, I'm not moving. Like square up energy on 10. Okay? To do what they want to do, whatever it is. Okay? In Aries energy, in fight mode. Fight mode. Okay? There are going to be some fights. You're going to see some fights. People are going to be ready. People are going to want all the smoke, y'all. All of the smoke. All of the fights. Like, I'm ready. What you said? Like, don't bump into nobody. Okay? You better be like, I'm sorry. Okay? Do not fight with people. Walk away. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Y'all hear me? Do not fight with people. I need y'all to understand that. Do not fight with people. Walk away. Be the punk. Who cares what they call you? Okay? No cursing at people while driving, because let me tell you, they don't you don't know who's in that car. They're ready. They're ready to stand their ground. You cut them off, they cut you off, and you like, da-da-da-da, and you in the car talking on that trash. You don't know that person. That person will follow you, come out their car with a bat, bust your windows. Like, you don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Don't be fighting with people. Don't think you protected because you were in your car. I had a friend of mine who drove an 18-wheeler. He drove a big 18-wheeler. And this guy thought he cut him off. But when you're driving 18-wheeler, like, you can't stop suddenly. So the guy like went in front of him and slowed down. And that's what people do to mess with like truck drivers. But it's dangerous because now the truck is forced to like slam on their brakes, and they can't slam on it too much because they can tip over. So it's dangerous for everybody. Okay. So the guy like pulled up, like cut the truck driver off, and then stops in the highway. Then the guy gets out of his car with a bat to my friend who's in an 18-wheeler. He was like, he's in his truck strapped. Now everything is being recorded. So he showed me the video because it was on the news. He was literally on the news. And this guy came like banging, hitting the 18-wheeler truck with the bat. Like, that type of energy, y'all. That's the type of energy. Somebody wants to cut you off, it's okay. You can go ahead. All right? You cut somebody off, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Okay? Let people have parking spots. Let people have the park somewhere else. Matter of fact, park in the back. It's good to walk. Don't be arguing with the person because they were like, I was here first. Okay, you can have a spot. Because you come out the store and your car smashed to smithereens. Do you hear me? I'm telling you, people are going to be cray-cray. Don't fight with your family. Don't fight with your family. Don't fight with your family. Everyone is going to be in this energy. Okay? You have kids, watch them because they're affected by it too. They're going to be beating each other up. Okay? But don't fight with your family. You know what? Sis, you right. You right. You absolutely right on that. You're absolutely right. Okay. Okay. Just say okay, smile. They then keep arguing with you because they want to argue back. But you're not squaring up with them. We're not doing that. Okay? Don't mess around. People have there's this energy that people are gonna have that they ready. Like, they're feeling it and they're ready for war. All right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? You say, I hope my soulmate pull up and say, are you my soulmate? What's up? Oh my gosh. Carly, you said I'm just staying home. Listen, I'm not messing with people. Listen, y'all can have it. You're going to see that happening on a grand scale. So I'm talking like on an individual scale. You're going to see that happening with companies. You're going to see that happening with like huge industries. You're going to see that happening with countries. Like you're going to see countries like squaring up, or like companies squaring up. Walmart, like Walmart CEO was like, I'm gonna shut all the Walmarts down because y'all keep stealing. Like he really said that. He really was like, I'm shutting all the Walmarts down in the country if y'all don't stop stealing. Like, what is your dude? What is your problem? Like, did you really just say that? Like, that is crazy. Like, where's his publicist? Like, nobody censored this dude. How you gonna say you shut down all the Walmarts because the people are stealing? Well, ain't nobody tell you to have only self checkouts. Like, what you think people gonna do? People like don't have money right now, so you just gotta have a self checkout. I can check my stuff out by myself. What you think people gonna do? Are you mad? And you keep raising the prices on stuff? Come on. So he ready. He's like, I'm shutting everything down. He's squaring up with the whole entire America. He want all the smoke. Then his investors and everything is like, no, don't stop what you're doing. Don't do that. They can go to Target. Oh my gosh. All right. The other thing that's happening. So I told you. So I gave you a little bit, right? We had the phrase with regards to, again, I told you Moon square Jupiter and Aries, right? That wasn't enough. Let's add some more to that. Let's add some more cray to that. So Aries, who's always down to fight, is like, yo, what's up? Let's do this. Matter of fact, I need some more ammunition. So Aries, which is ruled by Mars goes into retrograde. When Mars is in retrograde, people already in fight mode. Now they more in fight mode. So Mars is retrograde. There is one sign in the zodiac that people say, these people are crazy. These people are like, they have multiple personalities. Anybody know what that zodiac sign is? Because Mars is retrograde in that zodiac sign. Anyone tell me, what do you guess this is? What do you guess the zodiac is? Oh my God. Yes. Freaking Gemini. Listen, I'm not making none of this up. So listen, the moon is squared in Jupiter and Aries, right? Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is retrograde. When a planet is retrograde, it's like exposed. It's like not even trying to play nice. It's like, this is who I am, and straight no chaser. Like, this is who I am. You can get all of me. Okay. So Mars is in that energy. Like, what's up? Already, while Aries is squaring off. Okay. We got that going on. But then it's going to be retrograde in Gemini. Don't mess with these people out in these streets. People's minds is not straight. They need to take a nap. What did I tell you? The toddler energy. They're going to be having straight temper tantrums out here in these streets. Y'all be careful. Be careful. All right. Let's talk about on top of that. Let's go on top of that. Because when the planets be acting up, they be acting up. So Uranus, which is the energy of, anyone know it? Uranus is the energy. Mama Zika is like, oh. Uranus is the energy of the rebel. Okay, it's the rebellious one. So the most has happened over here. The moon squaring Jupiter and Aries. Aries is retrograde in Gemini, right? So Aries is already like, what's up? And Gemini's like in Aries' ear, like, yo, she said you did it. I wouldn't take that if I was you. That's Gemini's energy to Aries. Aries already want to fight, and the Gemini's instigating Okay, to Aries. Okay. Then Uranus is like, well, what's up? Uranus, who is the whole rebel, right? Is retrograde in Taurus. Okay. Taurus is the bull. It is the fixed, and it is fixed energy. It is firm. It is like not moving anywhere. More energy of standing your ground. Okay. So now you have this rebellious energy that's like, I'm not going nowhere. It's like one thing on top of the next, on top of the next. Like, what is happening? Okay. Then, so I already told you that there's a messy planet. There's one messy planet. This happens like every other year. I think 2 years ago, there were like 8 planets in retrograde, and then here comes the messy planet, the gossip planet. What would this planet be? The one who talked too much, who's like, what's happening, y'all? What's happening? What planet is that? What planet is that? Yes, roses and bees. Mercury. Mercury want to act out. Like, Mercury, go mind your business. Like, there's a whole fight going on over here. Mercury want to get involved, right? So then Mercury's like, oh shoot, like Mercury's is like minding his business. These planets in retrograde, they beefing, they fighting, they like squaring up and stuff. Mercury's just moving along, orbiting along, and then Mercury's like, hold up, what's happening? Hold up, what's going on over there? Mercury goes retrograde and wants to join in. So now you have all this going on, and here comes Mercury freaking retrograde. Okay. Mercury is the planet of communication. When Mercury is retrograde, the communication is bad. That's why I said walk away, because you're not going to be able to make sense of nothing. People are going to be, what are you talking about? Somebody will start a beef with you and you'll try to reason with them, and they're not here for that. Mercury's in retrograde. They don't hear nothing. They're hearing want, want, want. Let's fight. I don't care what you're saying. Let's fight. Walk away, because all this is happening at the same time. Okay. Oh my gosh, Diamond's like, yep, gonna be home. Yes, Sasha, Mercury fast self. Like, go sit down somewhere. You always want to come in the mix and like mess stuff up. Like, like it's a whole thing happening. And here come Mercury gossiping. Mercury telling Gemini, well, I heard that. Mercury, sit down somewhere. Mercury want to be nosy. So this is happening. Mercury's going to be retrograde from December 29th to January 15th. I'm just telling you right now. Just telling you right now. Okay. So these are the planetary energies, y'all. So when I said that this is what spirit is saying, this is what I was giving you the seasonal energy of what it is every year anyway for the winter. Okay. That's what it is. I'm telling you what spirit said. These are the 4 things to focus on. And now this is why, because of what's happening planetary wise. And like I said, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be affected by it. Everyone. Okay. So again, remember the 4 things: inner reflection, tranquility, rest, and flow. That's where you need to be. Don't be in no situation that's not tranquil. I'm telling y'all right now, don't go to no party and there's an open bar, because there's going to be a fight. There's going to be fights. People are going to be standing their ground. They're not going to fall back. They're going to be in their head like, you said such and such last month. Well, 5 years ago, you said that's Gemini and Mercury involved in it. And you sitting there like, I knew I shouldn't have come here. Okay? You should have been home in the bed, right, resting. All right? Okay. So let's switch gears a little bit here. Let's switch gears. I'm making light of it because it's comical, but when you have this knowing, when you are prepared in this way, when you see this stuff, like, you understand what it is and you know how to react to it. You're not shaking off, off your foundation, right? You're not taken off guard. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, why are they, what's happened to people? Now you know. Okay. Okay. Um, let's talk about the weather. We're gonna switch gears. Let's talk about the weather. I I did a video. I didn't realize it was taken down. I don't know what the topic was. Oh, I was talking about the aurora borealis. I don't know if I posted on YouTube. I know that no, I didn't. I posted it was on Instagram, and it was one of those like 3 a.m. Videos, and I was talking about the energy of the north coming here, like settling, coming down, right? And that's why the aurora borealis, which was always it's called the Northern Lights. It was always like in the north. Literally was like in Maryland, Ohio, like DC. Like why are you all the way down here? But there's a shift in the energy uh, because there was a shift in this planetary body. Okay. So there's going to be weather stuff. I'm telling you out right now. Okay. The weather's going to be very different. It's going to be very different. And what do I mean by that? Wherever you live, if you live there for a long time, there may be a weather pattern that's like, oh, it never did this here, or it never flooded here, or never snowed here, or never whatever. It was never this warm during this time, or never this cold ever. You're going to notice new weather patterns. Okay, a cold pattern, things that are very unusual, and certain areas are going to see the shift very blatantly, and it is meant to happen. So don't be in panic mode. Don't let people put you in panic mode. Okay. I remember last year I was talking about the water and preparing yourself for the water. And I think it's Zoe Essentials, like every time someone ordered something, I gave them like a free piece of shungite. I didn't know why. I was just giving shungite out for free. And then Houston had like was it Houston that had the huge snowstorm? Somewhere in Texas. Where was it in Texas that had the huge, like everything froze over and like pipes were bursting because that part of Texas had never had like freezing temperatures that drop that fast. Like in the Northeast, we're used to it. So the pipes don't burst. Like, if it's about to get cold, shut all the faucets off. And the pipes are isolated. They're insulated so they don't burst. But Dallas, it was Dallas, Austin, Houston. Oh my gosh. It was all over Texas. I, I remember I was flying out from somewhere. So I know Houston was the main hub of one of the airlines. So I know Houston for sure, but it might have been all in that area. Obviously, you guys are telling me that it was. So yeah, so you're gonna see things like that. But what I told people didn't have like fresh running water. So I was telling people like, yeah, I have shungite. If you have a shungite that I sent you, put it in your water. I was telling a lot of people, put it in your water, let it sit for 4 hours. It'll clean your water, right? I'm telling you the same thing. Telling you the same thing. Get some shungite, y'all. Get some shungite. If you don't have any, get some. Get some. So essentials, we have pieces as cheap as $5. Get a piece of shungite, okay? For multiple reasons. Last year we was it this year? This year, last year I was talking about shungite. Did a whole video, broke down the history of it, the health benefits of it. I had friends in Russia that were telling me stuff about shungite that I didn't know. I was getting it from them from the actual place in Shunga, Karelia, Shunga, Russia. That's where I was literally getting it from. And they were telling me stuff. I was sharing about with the government, the research that they're doing on it, because shungite is like 99% carbon. And so they're doing a lot of research on carbon and melanin, but more specifically the carbon. Okay. And so now I saw some study that was recently done on shungite. And I was just like, something's up. Okay. Get you some shungite. The other thing is that I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys know this. A friend of mine told me, yeah, he said the price is in like certain parts of Texas are going sky high because he said everyone from California and like the Northwest is moving to Texas. And I was like, why? He's like, because there's no water there. It's like, what do you mean? He was like, you don't know there's no water? Like the lakes and stuff are drying up? And I was just like, no. He's like, yeah, there's no water. Like the water's all on the East Coast. So I didn't know that. So because of that, there's water quality issues. Okay. Put that on top of cold weather, not having access to running fresh water. Okay. Get you some shungite. Do what you can to make sure that you have drinkable water. Okay. And whenever I see the U.S. government meddling something, when I told y'all they were meddling with the copper, like while y'all have y'all noses in it, there's something to it. It'll come out in the future. Okay, there's something to it. So yes. So thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about herbs and crystals that you can use. I'm going to talk about quite a few things at this time. The first thing I want to talk about is low iron. And so something that I've been noticing, a lot of people that are eumelanated naturally have, not naturally, they do have a challenge with iron levels, okay? Low blood, low iron. There's a reason why. And these are the same there's a reason why, okay? The blood is just different, okay? And I learned this first about 20 something years ago when I was in college, and a friend of mine, she was from, I want to say Nigeria. She's from Nigeria. She was. And she told me her father invented the cure for sickle cell anemia, okay? Where the blood cell, instead of it being circular, well, kind of circular, it was shaped like a sickle, like a kidney bean. And the cure was an actual herb in Western Africa. And so because he worked for a company, the company owned the cure that he not invented, but the cure that he I forgot, like came up with, right? And so they were trying to market it to America, and the United States said that we're not in, like the big drug company said, we're not interested in it. There's not a big enough population that has it. And he's like, basically almost all any Black American who has any African ancestry has a trait of sickle cell anemia or an anemia dysfunction. And the fact that you're talking about millions of people and you're saying there's not a need for it was just baffling. This was like 1998, okay? So I knew then that there was something with the blood and something with anemia and low iron. And a lot, especially women, especially eumelanated women, have like low iron, okay? If you have fibroids, you have low iron. That's just what it is. That's just the absolute fact. Okay, your ferritin levels are low. Okay, to prevent that, or to work on healing that, you have to increase your iron intake. Okay, now here's the thing. Iron ferrous sulfate does not work well with our bodies, with our genetics, because it was not made for certain DNA. What do I mean by that? A lot of the medicine, almost everything in the medical community, when it comes to like, even, when you get the when you go to the hospital or doctor, they put the they test your temperature and they put that thing on the laser thing on your finger. That is not designed for someone that has melanin in their skin or brown skin. The numbers are always going to be off. All the numbers are off. Okay. We know that for a fact with a lot of different things, but the medicines as well. So the ferrous sulfate, and this has been proven, certain people will take ferrous sulfate and it does nothing, but it actually causes more harm. It can actually cause liver damage, something called I can't think of the name of it, but it's a sickness that causes liver damage because it's too much iron that the body can't process, and now your liver is messed up. Okay, so there are uh, natural ways to take um, iron. Okay, and so one of the ways is by roots. Okay, and I spoke about this, I think, in a previous video. Um, Cheney root. This is coming from the Caribbean, or sarsaparilla, which is native to Mexico, but it grows in Jamaica, all over the Caribbean. These are roots that you can take. I also talked about every woman, every woman in here, every woman I'm talking to, okay, should be taking some sort of iron supplement. There was also a tonic that I spoke on called Floridix. I put links to all of it below, so in the description below, so you can link and you will get exactly that particular tonic. Okay. There's also a company that I'm familiar with. I spoke to one of their someone from their board years ago, called Mega Food. And the woman at the time was talking about how you can get nutrients from food. In this particular company, they get all their nutrients from food. There is plant-based. And so they have something called blood builders. Again, it's in the description below. These are things that you can take. If you prefer a supplement, there's supplements. If you prefer the drink is there, or you can do the herb. I'm going to do a video showing how to actually make the tonic that I personally drink. Okay. So what's going to happen at this time is that, yes, it causes constipation. It causes bleeding in your stomach. It causes a whole lot of things. That ferrous sulfate, it is terrible. It is. But if you don't, if you're stuck with being extremely fatigued, having to get a blood transfusion, you do whatever you can do, and you'll take the ferrous sulfate, right? The iron pills from the store. So because of this there's a whole other thing with iron that I'm not gonna get into. There's a reason why we have low iron. Okay, there is a reason why we have low iron, and it's directly connected to our origins. Let's just say that. Okay, just understand iron is a metal. It keeps you grounded. There's a reason why the iron is low. Okay, so anyway, during this time, you're going to see a lot of your iron levels dropping, and I believe is due to, I'm not completely sure. I don't know, but I know there's a pattern that's happening. I do know that people that have gotten the shot are definitely going to be affected by this, but I also believe that is due to a lot of the radiation, these low frequency waves that are being emitted from these devices that is damaging. And we spoke about this. His job is to damage the mitochondria, which is doing. But I'm just telling you now, supplement with iron, okay? The proper iron. All right? Make sure that is from plants, is from roots. So there are, iron transfusions. Iron transfusions are going to be a thing, but it's very invasive. It's very invasive. But again, when you're faced with the choice of getting a blood transfusion, here's the thing with the blood transfusions. There was just a case of a family whose child had a newborn baby had a rare heart defect, and they wanted to give the baby blood, and they were like, they test the blood for HIV, but the blood can still have hepatitis, and it can be vaccinated blood, which means that you will be taking blood that has the vaccine in it. Not the vaccine, that shot, that stuff in it. Okay. And so the family was like, we're not giving this to our baby. So of course it was this whole big thing. And I believe they won their case against that. So if you have low ferritin, which most you melanated women have, if you don't know about that, next time you go to a doctor, I recommend everyone every year go to a doctor, just get a full panel. Say, I want to get my full blood work done. We'll look at my iron levels, my ferritin levels, okay? And you will see the numbers are going to be low, okay? Um, so there's some crystals that I did some research on that actually support blood circulation, increasing blood flow. And again, I listed them all below. I gave some information on each one. So you have the information on each one. I'm going to list them now. The first one is bloodstone. It's literally called bloodstone. Bloodstone is used to purify and it fortifies the blood. It is beneficial to regulate blood circulation in the body. Bloodstone is also used, the crystal is used to cure many blood-related diseases, which includes anemia. Yes, crystals are not just pretty rocks. Okay. That's bloodstone. The second one is garnet. Garnet is beneficial in purifying and balancing the energy in the body. In addition, is used to purify the blood as well as regenerate the DNA. Garnet. Garnet is also a crystal used during this season, Capricorn season. I think it is the birthstone of Capricorn. But garnet regenerates the DNA. I said it. Wealthy people, royal people, just don't be wearing. I don't know if I said it here, if I said it on Zoe Live. They don't just be wearing jewels, gems, because it's beautiful and shiny. They understand the metaphysics behind it. Okay, you don't just understand it. And this is why I'm teaching. This is why some of you are so prompted to learn this information. Okay. The next one is a crystal called rhodonite. Rhodonite, the iron deficiency disorder of anemia can be cured by rhodonite gemstone treatment. Okay. You can put these crystals in your water. All right. Rhodonite, you literally put it in your water. If you have anemia, you can put rhodonite in your water, drink that water. It's going to help with it. All right. And the last one is tourmaline, but not black tourmaline, pink tourmaline. Pink tourmaline is most effective in blood diseases. It re-energizes and oxygenates the blood. Okay. Tourmaline is good as well, but pink tourmaline is more specifically for that. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about this, the next health thing that I want to touch on. Breathing issues. And I spoke about this. This really came to me, I'm going to say 2 years ago, where Spirit was telling me about a particular herb that my grandmother used for breathing. I think I spoke about it. I don't know who I spoke about it to, but it is sweet everlasting, okay, aka Cherokee tobacco, or as my mother calls it, rabbit tobacco. Okay. And we're talking about the flower. Okay. And so the flower of it is super powerful. My mother would tell me that my grandmother the house would be smoky because my grandmother had her children like in her late 40s. And my niece also grew up with my grandmother. So, back in the day, my grandmother had her first child at like 19, her last child at like 48. So my mother had nieces and nephews that were her age. My grandmother had a mother when she was like 40 something. So there was my mother, my uncle, and my niece, and like three of them had one had emphysema, one had bronchitis, one had like allergies or something. So my grandmother, who is of a Cherokee descendant, would smudge the home with Cherokee, or they call it rabbit tobacco, and they would also drink the flower. Okay, so this came back to me a couple of years ago. So again, this year, this came to me, and I think in the summer, that there's going to be some breathing stuff, but especially with children. Okay. So, number one, everyone needs to be mindful of their breathing. Be very careful when going out and about. I know that there I'm being mindful of what I what I can say. Um, when you are breathing, you're taking a deep breath. You're not just breathing oxygen. We are giving false information. You're breathing in a whole lot of other stuff. Okay, and a lot of these things are not just irritants in the air. There's a lot of other stuff purposely put into the air. Okay, that you're inhaling, and it's causing damage to the respiratory system. Because children are, their tissues are very fragile, they are going to be more susceptible to this. Okay. Um, be mindful during this time of year of eating dairy, eating anything that causes mucus, dairy, white rice, white bread, uh, anything that causes mucus in the body or inflammation in the body, white potatoes. Okay. Substitute it with something else. Okay. Try to avoid dairy at all costs. I know Christmas is coming up and y'all gonna want to do your macaroni and cheese. You can have macaroni and cheese. Okay. Just be easy. Just be easy. Don't be drinking up all the eggnog and, all that creamy stuff. All right. Um, so be mindful of that. I want you to be very mindful of that, especially in children, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be sickness. The first thing you do, especially if you have a child, you take them to the hospital. The doctor can't figure out what it is, why they have the fever. They give you, of course, they're going to give you like medicines that are deadly to children, literally, but they drive the fever down. But now the body can't fight what's wrong with it, and so now they have chills and they're sick, and you don't know what to do, and they don't know what to do, and it's just like kind of ride it out. We can prevent all that. Okay, you're going to start seeing that a lot. I saw a post on a friend that I went to high school with, and he said, I guess he had a child. I don't know. I haven't kept up with him in years. And he said, we're all RSV clear. This was like a few days ago. And I was like, RSV? Like that's becoming a thing. Okay. So I want to talk about if you have young little ones. I don't want to say children too much. If you have little ones, number one, do not give them peppermint. Okay. If they're under 5 years old, do not give them peppermint. I don't know why that's the thing, why people are saying peppermint tea and stuff under 5 and below. Peppermint can stop their heart. So don't give them peppermint if they're 5 and below. Okay. 5 and up, you can give them peppermint. Okay. Um, Eucalyptus. Be careful of eucalyptus. Now, if you're from the Caribbean and you sick, there's a couple things that come out the cabinet. One thing that comes out the cabinet, you can have a cough or you can break your knee. Your parents are going to pull out some Vicks. Like, what the heck? Vicks is like the cure-all for everything. I don't know what it is about the Vicks. Mommy, I fell and scraped my leg. Let's go get the Vicks. Let's go get the Vicks. Okay. Be careful with that. Be careful with the Vicks, because the Vicks does have there are some that have eucalyptus in it. And eucalyptus is, a lot of children are allergic to eucalyptus. So you want to be careful about that. A lot of adults are allergic to it as well. So just be careful. You can make your own. Okay. We did a video last year, herbalist special, like the recipes, and we showed how to make a salve. You can make your own salve. You can make your own Vicks. Okay. Without some of those ingredients. So just be careful of putting the Vicks on the children, not understanding why they're not getting better, because they may have an allergy to it. Okay. Some things that, let me say little ones, excuse me. Some things for little ones, mullein, make sure you strain it well. Okay. Use your own. Let me rephrase that. When I have young children or little children around me and they're congested, I would give them some mullein. If they are 12 or something, I may give them some peppermint to open up their, nasal passages. If they're having breathing issues, I would give them some rabbit tobacco flowers or sweet everlasting flowers because it opens them up. If I had young children around me, okay? Um, I spoke to someone today. Was it today or yesterday? They were traveling to New York, and I was like, "Did you bring your herbs?" Like, New York is one of the spaces that I was talking about. That the air is you breathing in a whole lot of stuff, not oxygen. Okay. Um, so that's something I want to share about with regards to the little ones, okay, especially you as well. Just be mindful of your breathing. You should be practicing your breathing. Make sure you're breathing properly. Open yourself up. We do a lot of this, and we're literally collapsing our lungs. Like, just open yourself up, stretch yourself, and just breathe. Okay. A lot of people are spending time indoors. Let me tell y'all, I open up my windows every day. It's just going to be cold in my house for 10 minutes because I need fresh air. Okay. Even though the air is crazy, but a lot of people are in their homes, their windows are not open. You don't have no fresh air coming in. It's just recycled stuff you're breathing in. Okay. Dust and mold and all kinds of things. So make sure that you're taking things that's going to remove the mucus. Mullein removes the mucus out of your lungs, and sweet everlasting clears up those spaces. Okay. I think so. There's a link below. Zoe Essentials. We have something called the Breathe Easy Kit that has like all three of those herbs. The thing with the sweet everlasting is that it literally is grown like on this long stem, and it's like little flowers. So it takes a lot to harvest it. But Zoe Essentials, we have a family that has a company that we work with, and they actually harvest it for us. They're in South Carolina, I believe. So we sell it. I don't know if we're selling it separately, but I do know that it's in the Breathe Easy kit and it's in the Healer Secret Cabinet kit. If you want it separate, you can email Zoe Essentials, and I don't know if they'll be able to, make a separate packaging for you. Again, if you have little ones, just a preventative, just prevent them from even being sick in the first place. Just be mindful of their diet, what they're eating, etc. The other thing is overwhelmment and overwhelmment and stress. I told y'all, people are gonna be fighting, people are gonna be doing the most out here in these streets, in your homes, everywhere. You are gonna be tranquil, right? You're gonna be like self-reflecting, you're gonna be resting and in the flow. But because you may have to go to work, or you may have to go to the store, go wherever, and you are spiritual beings, we are empaths, which means we pick up on stuff, okay? You will pick up on stuff, all right? If you feel stressed and overwhelmed and you're not sure why, and you're like, why am I feeling this? We have tools, okay? Go to your herbs. Literally, someone was experiencing this yesterday. They were a friend of mine was experiencing this yesterday, and it was like back to back stuff was happening, and I had to say, take a deep breath. I had to literally make her an infusion that I'm going to show you guys how to make, and then I made her a tea. I literally took skullcap and passion flower, and I was like, I need you to drink this tea because like the most kept happening, and I just saw her like throwing something at one point. It was like stuff was happening back to back, and somebody called to like beef, and then she's like, why are you yelling at me? It was just like craziness. But I was like, this is what the energy is, I'm telling you right now, just take it easy. So if you have a Healer Secret Cabinet, you have all the herbs for this, okay? If you didn't get it, I literally put 25 back on the site, literally for people to get. It was sold out for like 2 months. There's 25 boxes left, okay? 25 boxes. You can get all those herbs. If you have it, bust it open. I did a whole video talking about each one. Even if you don't watch the video, under each herb, it describes what it does for you. go into that box and drink your teas, okay? Make your tinctures and stuff. The other thing, what I want to show you is that when I made an ashwagandha infusion for her, and she said to me, "Oh yeah, I heard about this. There's a pill, ashwagandha pill, trending on TikTok," and I said, "We don't want to buy supplements unless you know, number one, where's it being manufactured from? Are these herbs organic? Okay, and like for real, how do you know it's in a pill?" So let me say this: in order to properly label supplements, there has to be certain measurements. I can't just grind up ashwagandha and fill up a whole capsule with it, because that may be more than the daily recommended amount. So if, let's say I have a whole pill, but it's only this much of ashwagandha, I got to fill the pill with stuff. Or somebody would say, "What's up with this pill?" So then we get fillers. The fillers may be nonsense. There's been known to be sawdust in fillers. And then sometimes the fillers actually work against the herb itself. So I'm like, if you can just get the herb, because you can look at it and see that this is the actual herb. Just take the herb. You can grind it up yourself, drink it yourself. Okay. So I told her, don't get the ashwagandha pills that's trending on TikTok. Like how do you know nothing about that company, nothing about those people? The bunch of stuff trending doesn't mean that it's good. And I showed her how to make infusion. I'm going to show you guys really quick. So let me tell you about ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. An adaptogen is an herb. So here's the other thing. If you're stressed, you take ashwagandha, it's not going to do much for you. Okay? An adaptogen works with your cells. It works with your body over time. And so if, let's say something stresses you today, you take ashwagandha, it probably won't do nothing. But if you're taking it every day for a week and something happens like a week from now, what happens is the ashwagandha, because it's now working with your genetics, kicks in. And so instead of being really stressed out, it's like, it calms you down. Okay. So what I recommended to her is I made this for her. As I do with people, you come to my house and you have something, I'm making something for you. So I got a mason jar. And so I told her, this is like a week's worth of ashwagandha. So I got like, for regular, if you're taking the tea every day, you would take like half a teaspoon. So I made like, I did like, I don't know, 5 teaspoons. Okay. Let me show you what ashwagandha looks like. It is a root. It's very affordable as well. You want to make sure you get it organic. You make sure that it's organic. And then find out where, like, you want to know where it's coming from. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is ashwagandha. Okay. It should be white. It shouldn't be like dark brown. If you see pills where it's like dark brown, it may be old. That's the other thing. You don't want to get something that's like old or possibly molded. So that's ashwagandha, right? So I did about like, this is not 5, but I did like 5 teaspoons. And I put it in the mason jar, okay? And then I boiled hot water. Mason jars can hold boiling water. Now, when you do like leaves, like herbs leaves, you don't want to put boiling water on them. But this is a root. Roots can stand boiling water, and they can also be cooked. You can like boil them for some time. So I put like very hot boiling water on it. And because it's a mason jar and it's designed for this, and you want to get the mason jars that have like the seal like that, the two piece. And I just sealed it up. The top popped up. And I told her, let it sit overnight and it just infused. This is an infusion. Okay. So I told her every day, just take a portion of it, make a tea, like take a couple shots of it every day. And I gave her enough for like 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, she's going to take a portion of the ashwagandha, so that when the stressful stuff happens, she's like not bothered. Because I already told y'all the stuff is gonna go down. Okay. All right. Okay, so how many ounces is that jar? I think this is a pint. Let me tell you, it is no, I don't know, 800 milliliters. Let me see. It's 4 cups. It's 4 cups. This is they have like the smaller ones. This is like the regular size one, I would say. I don't get the ones that are too big. So I believe 4 cups is a pint, if I'm correct. I don't know. You can go on Zoe Essentials. We sell the small pouches of it as well as the big ones. A small pouch will last you like a month. So if you took like a small pouch from Zoe Essentials, you can do like 2 mason jars. I would say do half the pouch, make this, put it in the fridge, and then for the next 2 weeks, do the second half of the pouch. Make a mason jar out of it and put it in the fridge. Okay. The small pouches of Zoe Essentials are like around 2 to 4 weeks worth of herbs. Okay. Thank you, Donna. 32 ounces. Can kids take ashwagandha? Okay. I have to be very careful in saying these things. I have given ashwagandha to my children. I have a child who's a Libra, and because Libras are like very much in their head, and because of that, they also have their heart is very open. So because of that, being in their head and having an open heart, they can suffer from anxiety. Okay, and so all Libras should have some ashwagandha, but I have given it to my children. When it comes to younger children, look, you can Google. We have information on Zoe Essentials underneath. We have like links of peer-reviewed studies, but you can look it up if you can give it to your child. But always use your discretion, right? Let's see. You said a housemate came in and was giving out mason jars just because. Now I know why. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, you have ashwagandha powder. Will that work? Is it just pure ashwagandha? Look in it. A lot of times the powders have other stuff. A lot of times they do stuff to make the powders look good. So they will like irradiate herbs. They do all kinds of things to make herbs look, you know, I don't know why people think that, things should be brightly colored and perfect. Okay. But definitely don't just because you see and everyone's buying it, buy it. Like read the ingredients. Okay. Okay. Good vitamins. You want a good vitamin? Get moringa. Get moringa. Get moringa. It's the most nutrient dense plant on this planet. It sustains life in many countries where people suffering from starvation. I drink moringa tea every single day. Okay. All right, everyone. What Bria, you said so you can steep it for days and it doesn't go bad. Yeah, so you want to fill the mason jar up. You don't want to fill it completely with water because then it's too much pressure. So I usually do it to about here with boiling water and then put the top on. So leave it overnight. You do not put in hot glass in a refrigerator. Leave it overnight. In the morning, it's going to be cool. Drink some in the morning, then put the rest in the fridge and it will sit in the fridge for a week. You're only going to keep it for a week anyway. And so it's going to be good for that time. Okay. Danny just posted the link above. Okay. You can get moringa from Zoe Essentials. Okay. So with that said, I hope you all got some good information for the upcoming energy. For this upcoming energy, remember, do your inner work. We're in water and earth, right? So that we're that mud that did y'all see that over there? Anyway, quicksand, we don't want to fight it. We're just gonna slowly move through it, right? Be mindful. We're doing inner work. Be mindful of tranquility. Also, make sure you get your rest and flow. Okay. And when stuff happens, you just laugh it off. Just like No fighting. No fighting